Yes guys, Woo here, back once again with another Division 2 video. I'm playing hardcore mode, I'm enjoying it, it's a bit of fun, it's a little bit of a change going back to playing the game from the beginning, but I need to talk to you guys about something a little bit different. That is PvP in the Division 2, which makes me very, very angry. But guys, let's do this. What's up guys, I hope you've all had a fantastic Christmas time and all prepared for the new year in terms of beer and yes, of course, more beer. But we need to talk about the Division 2 because yes, Division 2 is at that very curious point in time where we've had 6.1, we're going to the Christmas period and people are playing but not as often as what they used to. Content creators, we need to talk about a lot of shit in this game. Now this may not appeal to everyone, people may not enjoy this video, people just think I'm whining or bitching or whatever, but I need to get this point out there. I need to talk about certain elements of this game and people, we need to get the nitty gritty out and be honest and open, and that's what it is in this video. So guys, firstly let's talk about PvP. Now, PvP, I saw a tweet on Twitter obviously, and it's from Bronson. I'm guessing this is Charles Bronson. I'm guessing, I may be wrong, but he's got an M4 apparently. But yes, he tweeted this. A front-facing PvP dev team needs to PvP in their own title. You cannot rely on past experiences in other titles. You need to experience combat trends firsthand to directly see what is overpowered and underpowered. You can't balance PvP without that, and the Division 2 is proof positive of that. Now, Frederick Feilander, who is a game designer for Massive, he works tirelessly on this game, responded. And for the record, I personally find the current state of PvP very, very poor. Sorry, I said very twice. Apologies. But I do mean very, very poor. Now, why is Frederick saying that? And the first reason is, he's right. It is. It's not great. It is very, very poor. Yes, Frederick, I agree. Redstorm play a big part in PvP. These guys are responsible pretty much for PvP, so this may be a slightly thinly veiled dig towards those guys. It may be, it might not. But at the same time, again, every Tom, Dick and Harry will have their opinion on what is wrong and what is right with PvP, and I'm just going to go over a few of my points. I'm just going to jump on that wagon as well, because, yeah, there you go, it is what it is. I can do. Now with this, PvP, and I'm a PvPer. I love PvP. Now, I have spent hours and hours and hours and hours in most games PvPing. And this goes back to Destiny, Call of Duty, The Division. I've played a lot of games PvP. When I put a game on, I PvP. That's the first thing that I do, is I just go straight to PvP. That's just me. I remember playing this game, Division 2, loading it up, getting so far. When I could go in the Dark Zone, I was in that DZ. That's it, even though there was nobody in there, but I was looking for players to PvP. That's how much I love PvP. So you've got to understand from my point, I'm a very emotional, passionate guy. So when things don't go my way or don't tick the right boxes I want to be ticked, I get quite frustrated. And that's how I am as a character, as a human being. Is I want things to be right, be balanced, be perfect. And I work tirelessly in my life to make sure that is a thing. And to create that harmonious structure in my life. So when it comes to gaming, I'm the same. I don't want to surround myself by being frustrated, being annoyed, and to the point where is, why am I doing this? And with this game, I have felt that a multitude of times in PvP. Again, there are reasons why I have done this. Many reasons, may I add. Now, the first reason is, we're going to go rewind all the way back to vendor resets. And the vendor resets, which were a big thing back in the summer, they were vendor resets were going to drop weekly with massive armor pieces. So we're talking 30% armor chest pieces and 25% armor backpacks. Now these were hidden throughout the clan tier structure, where some clans be level 14 and this god roll chest piece would appear. Some clans be level 30 and they'd appear, but generally they were kind of shoehorned in between the levels, so there'd be mid-tier clans. So what would happen? What happened in abundance of times was that people would have to leave their clan, join an open clan, buy 10 to 15 of these fantastic chest pieces or backpacks, and then go back to your said clan. That's what happened. That's a thing. That happened an abundance of times through many people that play this game, especially the PvPers, and they were clever, savvy enough to realise that these pieces will be god rolled in time, and to the point where it'll be highly sought after. And again, what people would do is they would create these monstrous gear pieces where they'd have, again, to quote, bloodsucker chest piece with 30% armor, and then they're going to have some more armor on there as well to have this crazily insane armor chest piece, and do the same with the backpack. And again, there was some other god roll items throughout the clan system and the vendor resets, to a point where so many people complained and said this is bullshit because it just defeats the point in grinding. Why would you grind when this gear drops? And this mechanic is a catch-up mechanic, so where if you didn't play the game, you could easily just log into vendor reset or jump into a clan and go, tell you what, I'm going to pick these up, there you go away, and you've got a build, and by God you've got a good build. That's part of the problem, and that's part of my issue, long underlying issue, whereas the devs have screwed PvP from the off by having these stupidly amazing god roll pieces that never dropped in the game. Nobody got these pieces, they just didn't drop, but they're on vendor resets available for everyone. Wrong, shouldn't happen. So yeah, the devs have fixed this. I remember, again, kind of moving on from that, I recall when Negotiator's Dilemma was a big thing, to the point where it took them at least 10 to 14 days to recognise it was a problem, and they said they're working on a fix. What happens? Next vendor reset, there are 10% explosive resistance mods for sale at the vendor. Coincidence? Maybe not. And again, that's the short-term fix. I'll tell you what, let's just put these in there. I know how these guys work, and that's a guarantee. They've done that to appease people, to say there's a counter. These ND Dilemma builds, these horrible cheesy builds are there, but there is your counter. Don't worry about it. It's some explosive resistance. Stack it on your gear. Happy days. Jobs are good, and guarantee it. Now, and this is where it's just a problem. It's just a pain in the ass problem. And again, there's been issues with Cassie Mendoza spawning, not spawning, nobody there, and all that shit. Yeah, that's another joke mechanic that just it's in the game that I don't agree with. But anyway, PvP. So that's part of the problem. Now, so where you can create these 600k armor builds by shoehorning or Frankensteining these builds together, that works so well. And don't get me wrong, these builds are insane. They are. But can you tell me another game where this is possible? And the answer is no, you cannot. It does not happen in any other game. Only the Division 2. Hashtag. And then we need to talk about the technician specialization. Moving on. The technician specialization, and it is my favorite specialization. And again, the reason for me is perhaps the reason for PvPers, and that's because, yes, you're going to get the extra 50% skill power. So all you need to invest in is 3 or 4 utility slots. That will get you to that 2k skill power. And then, all you need then is that 3k skill power. And that will get that 50% will boost up to 3k. So you've got, how much armor? 600k? 3k skill power. You're in a good place. You're in a good place to beat anyone. Tell you what, just have Seeker Mines and a Shotty. Let's go ultimate cheese. And that's what it is. Generally, that is what the crux of PvP is. And then on the flip side, you've got these Berserk Clutch builds. That's another build, another kind of OP build. And then you look at another build, which is the rifle builds. And say rifle builds, to tell you what, if I was going to do a rifle build, I'd go heavy DPS. That's the way I'd go, because my brain would tell me to, again, out DPS someone, you need more DPS. But in the Division 2, you don't. You don't need that. You need 500k armor. 500k armor and still hit and 2-tap people. And still have 3k skill power. It's achievable. And that's where the game's fucked. That's where the game is broken to the core, because no game should give you the master of all trades. Simple. Should not be a thing in an RPG. Broken mechanic, broken to the core. So what happens? What do they need to do? Well, there's an answer. The answer that they've come up with, and I do agree with, and I do feel will fix a multitude of problems in this game, and that is the new core attribute system. Whereas you cannot be super tanky and deal damage. It just can't happen. Due to the stats that you will spec into, it is impossible. And that is exactly what the game friggin' needs. Because at the minute, is everyone's running around super tanky, super DPS. Unless you were not savvy enough to buy these items in the vendor resets throughout the summer. If you didn't pick them up, you're at a disadvantage in PvP. So again, I didn't pick them up. I didn't clan hop. I was stuck in a clan, which wasn't stuck in a clan. It was my choice to stay in the clan I was in and not leave and come back and leave and come back, because I just play the game, hoping and praying. RNG's a bitch, may I add, that these pieces or similar pieces will drop, and they never freaking did. So problem, yes, problem. RNG system screwed, and vendor resets. Happy days, jobs are good. There you go. Now, technician and vendor resets, again, they've caused a multitude of problems within the PvP dynamic. And then we stretch a bit further and you look at most kind of class-based RPG type PvP games. Would be Overwatch, even in Destiny, there's modes, and again, more importantly, there are class systems that encourage people to use different classes and appease other players, and again, synergize as a group and a team. That's what PvP, group PvP is. Now, we know that you need a healer, you need a DPS, you need a tank, and again, this is not a new thing. This has been happening for decades. This is a common denominator in PvP, group PvP, team-based multiplayer. Now, is it a thing in Division 2? No, there's no group synergy at all. I believe there's a comment in the community thread. Someone said about having a lack of, again, synergy as a group or squad. There's no kind of like squad builds. There isn't. Again, I'm blowing the old Division 1 trumpet here again. But it's just an obvious indicator there's a problem. And if you go back to Division 1 and we talk about group PvP, now, what do you need? What's the first thing that comes to mind when you think group PvP? What do you need? In terms of a full, what kind of players do you want? And the first thing is, let's get a reclaimer. Let's get a healer. Let's get a heal on your team. That's someone that's going to keep you alive. So that gives you an option where to play. You can go DPS, you can go tank, you can go skill power, to deal some damage with Seekers or the flame turret. You have options, but that guy's going to keep you alive. And that ultimately, that's what you want. So there you go. You got your healer. What else can you go? Tell you what. Let's have a D3 build. Let's get a tank in there. Get that tank in there that will buff your teammates. Simples. Have a tank. So you go D3. And then you got, what other options you got? You've got Nomad, you've got Pred, you've got Striker, you've got Banshee. You have more variety. And you know, a Tactician. There's so much more you can add to the group. Even a Deadeye. Yeah, so there's so many different utility you can put in together. And that's my idea of group PvP. And this group PvP is everyone's running the same old shit, the same old stupid armor, rifle builds, whether it be perfect berserk, perfect clutch bollocks, all that kind of shit. And that's it. That's it. And people say there's more build variety. In PvE, yes, of course there is. There's an abundance of builds, and I do them regularly. I know the fact. But PvP, I feel there's a meta, and then what's below it is so far below it's untrue. That's the problem. Currently, there's about 3 builds that are the Liverpool. We're talking football terms here. The Liverpool of the Premier League. And everyone else is, the Everton. Nowhere near mid-table mediocrity. That's your problem, and that shouldn't be the case. Shouldn't be the case at all. There should be a lot more diversity and a lot more viability on building elements in Division 2. However, with that being said, Year 2, I feel, will bring that. At the minute, for the next 3 months, I have no aspiration to PvP. I've just got, there's nothing. And I've got no aspiration to give you any PvP footage or any PvP builds. Why? Because it doesn't provide me any enjoyment, any fulfillment. It provides me with anger and frustration. And why would I want to give you a build that, again, when I watch other content creators do builds that have these 30% armor chest pieces with Bloodsucker, these insanely powerful backpacks, these 550k armor with 3k skill power builds. Ultimately, I can't compete because I don't have these pieces. And they won't drop for me because they're not in the game anymore. They're only available on these vendor resets months and months ago. So that's where I'm at. Why am I trying to compete when I can't really compete? And there's just limited amount of fun with the game when it comes to PvP. And until Year 2, I think there's no point in PvP and I'm just not interested. So you won't see any PvP footage. I'm sorry, guys. If you wanted it, It's just not happening. It makes me want to leave the game. Simple as that. PvP, I love being creative. I love delivering these really weird and wonderful, wacky Moulin Rouge builds, you know, these WOO builds, these WWE Fin builds. I love it. Seriously, guys, it keeps my creative spark flowing. So I will do WOO builds, which are WWE themed, every few days, where possible. You will see some crazy builds, you know. Yeah, they're not going to be a berserk clutch bullcrap. I'm not going to do it. I can't. I'm sorry, guys. I like dealing off meta. That's how I am. I want to provide a difference, not provide a right. This is this, because I know in 3 months these builds won't be viable. These silly, look at my armor. It's like, mate, you know, you need to think outside the box a little bit more when it comes to year 2, because you will not be able to do so. And hopefully that improves player skill. Let's hope, eh? Let's hope. Not hiding behind a shotty build with Seekers and, you know, 600k armor, because that's what I run into in conflict and skirmish, to the point where I'm thinking, screw this. This isn't fun. I want to deliver fun. I want to have fun in this game. So PvP, yeah, it's screwed. That's my opinion, until year 2, when they actually spend some time fixing the attribute system, and then I'll be in it and I'll be playing some PvP. Now, there's a guy I follow on Twitter that is quite negative about the game, but I follow him because he's usually on point, and he's usually, you know, his fingers on the pulse, and I do agree with him. You may not, it is what it is, but he's tweeted this a few days back. So Grumps a lot. Everyone is like, yay, God rolls it back, and I'm okay with that. But I'm just sitting here asking myself why the fuck it wasn't in the game in the first place, eh? Just a drop in the sea of changes this game needs. Now show me movement changes and some burst healing options. Now for me that just stinks of Division 1. It does. But at the same time, the guy's right. I would love to see better movement. I would love to see some nice burst healing. I'd love to. I really would. Some of you may not. Some of you may prefer the PvP in Division 2. But I do feel that is a very small minority, unfortunately. But I would like to see huge changes in the current PvP mechanic. And I think we will in year 2, and that will get me my ass in the DZ, back in conflict and skirmish, and I'll do some build videos. Yeah, yay. Yeah, and there's none of these vendor reset bollocks builds. No, I'm not going to do it. It's going to be this. And that's what I'm looking forward to, is the year 2 core attributes that will give me the balance that I want. And I feel ultimately is what everybody needs. Rather than, yep guys, rather than the generic, look at my armor from a vendor reset I bought, and there you go. And that's what it is at current. I cannot deal with that. Cannot, and we need to move on. And we will in March. So yes, guys, I'm excited for March. In the meantime, yeah, I'll do some builds. I'll do some PvP stuff. Sorry, PvE stuff. I said PvP. I don't mean PvP. I mean PvE. Yes, in a group. Yes, in the light zone and bounties and heroics. Yeah, I'll do some content. Of course I will. But I've got to play with stuff. It's the thing. I have to move on. I've got a few ideas I want to play moving forward, and you'll see that filter through the channel from time to time. All I ask is, if you like me, then please support me. Just watch my content, drop a like, give me some feedback, you know, because I have to diversify. I can't live and breathe through the Division 2. I don't want it to consume me, because if it does, then it'll just make me even more frustrated about this game. So guys, let me know what you think in the comment section. I'm sorry for ranting, I'm sorry for going on for so long. I know, yes, pissed you off, like it's pissed me off now currently. But yes, I'm excited for year 2. To summarise, I'm excited for the changes in the mechanics system. And we all should be. As simple as that, because it will give us a bit more balance. Of course it will, it has to. And I do feel positive about the future of the game. But firstly, PvP. I ain't doing it, I'm not interested, but I'll still do some PvE, guys, and I'll still do some crazy builds outside the box, and you'll see some more stuff filter the next few days. And if it does really well, I might switch games, who knows? But yeah, let me know, folks. As always, drop a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Peace.